tight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing on this hot and humid as a hell Wednesday afternoon? Oh my good Lord. I don't know where you are in the country or the world, but even for Southeast Georgia, I am hibernating. Most people like to hibernate in the winter. My thermostat is still set to the Midwest, and it is currently 98 degrees at my house, and not the boy band. The only 98 degrees that's actually worth it. And if you know my 90s kids, 80s babies, you know what I mean. How is everybody doing today? Diane, how are you? And Diane, I just want to apologize. I saw your comment the other day. I think that was you on Monday's video. If y'all saw Monday's video, thank you for sticking with me. Usually I don't go off on a complete and total rant like that, but somebody's comments, not anybody on YouTube, Whoopi Goldberg's comments about Iran got me, and I had to tell her that she's a effing moron. And if you want to see me actually go out on a complete and total unhinged rant about how rich people suck, Monday's the stream for you. There is a trigger warning attached to that stream because it is a very difficult stream to watch. It's about Iranian women's rights, and I did it big. It's go big or go home with the F-bombs. So if you can't handle the cursing, Monday's stream was not for you. But if you want to see me go on what it looks like for me to be passionate about one topic and completely go on a rant when my total and undivided attention is put squarely on one person, that's the stream for you. Like, hey Yamaha, how are you? Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back. And I was going to do this stream a little earlier because I do have a stream at 3 o'clock going over some aviation stuff with Spawn, following the deep rabbit hole that is where is the money going that the FAA gets for improvements every year, and why is this taking so damn long? Ninja Puppy, how are you? Tammy, good to see you. David, how are you? Hey Joe, so glad I stopped for lunch to be here on time. How are you? Oh, and speaking of stories, for those of you who have been on my channel for a while, about 6 months ago, we covered a lawsuit out of Florida. If you know, and if you followed Megan for a while, you know Dr. Goodhair. Dr. Goodhair, also known as Dr. Joe Corcoran, also known as CMO Joe on Facebook or on YouTube. Go follow him. He is suing HCA Healthcare. I read the lawsuit and some follow-up things on my streams. Well, he commented on my video last night letting me know that he has a mediation on July 8th with HCA Healthcare, and that he would like, he wants us to keep everybody in his thoughts, prayers, and well wishes that goes well, because he feels like a David versus Goliath. And for a doctor, a former chief medical officer in a hospital system, to feel like David in the David versus Goliath story is something that is not something that I'm used to. Usually doctors are the big dogs. because I'm just a little lonely coda. Usually doctors are like the top of the food chain. So for a doctor to feel like a David and the David versus Goliath situation, he needs all the help he can get, or all the prayers. I read his lawsuit. I think he's got plenty of things on his side. They screwed him over. Just pay the man. Just pay the man. And if you would have paid the man when you should have paid the man, you wouldn't have had to deal with inflation. Now you got inflation, and you're really going to have to pay the man. Just pay the damn man. Coming to the stream to help keep me from going completely off the rails, like I did on the phone this morning, Spawn Trooper. How are you, my friend?
That's a fucking understatement.
For those of you who don't know, Spawn and I talk on the phone damn near every day. And this morning I was talking to him on the phone about something, and he's like, "You just derailed yourself."
Yeah, I mean, I literally sat there and in the most calmest way, I went, "Squid." She went, "Yeah." You just totally derailed yourself and totally changed the topic like that. And I literally had to bring you back into the conversational topic we were having. And like you,
and
just
that's
like,
in real life. That's not when we're using Spawn Trooper and Squid. That's when we're using real names, talking about real things, talking about our real lives, in-person things. And I totally derailed myself. So you guys think I do it on stream? I do it in person too. Like, no, I do it with my friends.
I can most happily confirm that, like, no, yeah. I mean, it was like if you think it's bad, like when she does it to me or I do it to her, and we do it on our own streams, behind in the green room, I can tell you right now, it's like throwing a fucking boomerang with razor blades, and no one is volunteering to catch the fucker. That's how bad it gets. It's twice as worse as you think it is. It's like, and the way I just said it, I went, "Squid." She went, "Yeah. You know, you just derailed yourself." And she went, "Uh-huh. Yeah." Yeah, rat bag.
Yamaha biker. Why would you give two shits what Whoopi says? Thanks. All she and the rest of Hollywood steal air and give space. Natural selection. Well, what I did, her comments set me off, and the only reason that Whoopi's comments set me off, and I will say this as a preface it, is I hate hypocrisy. I hate people that talk a big game but don't actually do anything about it. If you think in her comments about being, and I am obviously not black, but I know people who are, but and despite anybody's issues with their race and things that they've had growing up and problems they've had in life, your life here is not nearly as bad, no matter what situation you are in, than a woman in Iran. So for her to compare the two, I lost my mind.
Can I just interject? I've got a little bit of clout on this one, right? First of all, Whoopi Goldberg is as much use as a fart in a spacesuit. She always wants to put herself in a position of like, "Oh, listen to me, I know everything." No, you don't. The amount of times that lady has put herself in so much crap is just a joke. The second thing is Iran, the Middle East, or Arabian countries like Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, stuff like that. I can tell you right now that from my personal viewpoint, I have seen the way women are treated over there, especially in Iraq. Women are treated like first-class citizens. I mean, they always walk behind. Okay, so the guys will always walk ahead. The women are always behind. They are segregated when it comes to their religious belief. They are segregated. They have to go into different parts of the mosque and that. And you know, it's very. How can someone who, okay, she was on Star Trek, she was on different Ghosts and all that crap, but how can someone who sits on a platform where you've got a platform with other women, okay, you are representing. It's not a platform to your soapbox. You are representing other women, other cultures, other ideologies. You're representing, and all she does is like listen to me. Listen to what I say. Listen, yeah, most of what comes out your mouth, someone needs to give you a toilet roll so you have got something to wipe your mouth every time you take your face first. Shit. But sorry, my bad.
Ninja Puppy, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. You look and sound great. Glad to see you're doing good. I actually sound worse than I did on Monday because I was outside working in the flower or planting bed yesterday, trying to like put some stuff down, some edging down, and one of our plants is flowering right now, and so this morning I was all stuffy and like coughing and stuff, and I'm like, I actually sounded better yesterday.
And just one more thing, all right? Before anyone goes on their high horse or on their soapbox and accuses me of being racist or sexist or anything else, no. Listen, I'm an equal opportunist, and I hate everyone equally as well as I respect everyone equally. And when you've got a platform like they have, and they use that platform to richly put people down just because they're famous, that's where I draw the line. If you have not lived in that country, we've got people over here in the UK who go to France to where the camps are for the asylum seekers and everything else, and they go there and they make a big thing about it, and it's all about clout. But they never ever actually go to the country. They live in that country. They experience what that country is like. Yeah. If I say to you, "Tahal, yalla, tahal, tahal," right? Do you know what that means? Let me tell you what that means. That means come here, hurry up, come here, quick. Yeah. And shukran jazili. That means
all I know is I was in Dubai and we called the cab and the cab wouldn't take us because we were American, and the concierge at the hotel spit on the cab and said, "Effing Pakistani." That is a quote. That is not my personal opinion. That is what he said. And I'm like, how can you tell? He goes, accent inflection, just like you can tell if someone's from New York versus Georgia. Yeah. Midwest. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. How am I so nice?
What's it called again? Is it The View?
Unfortunately, it's a really shitty show. Rick, it's 97 on the South Carolina border. So we're right there with you in the heat. All right. So if y'all want to see more on my Unhinged, and anybody who's called me Unhinged, that one actually is in a way, but it's directed towards one topic.
You should see when we're talking privately. When it comes to unhinged, you can look in a dictionary under the word unhinged, and you see her with both thumbs up going.
All right, so let's get to the reason we were here.
I'm sorry.
Sanctimonious. Whoopi is sanctimonious. Yes. That video only has like 360 views, so I know some of y'all haven't seen it. But we are going to get to the heart of while we are here. And there was a judge's order that was posted yesterday. And I have to actually open it up. Judge's order. Document 159.
Just a quick one. Do you want would you like to explain to the sorry, I do apologize. I'd call everyone peasants and humanoids and everything else. Would you like to explain to the outer cast, the fans outside, would you like to explain the word sanctimonious so people actually understand what it means?
Okay, let's look up the dictionary.
I've already done it. It means making a show of being morally superior to other people. There you go.
Oh, I know some people like that.
Oh, so do I. Sorry.
I do know some people like that. I ran into one at the grocery store a little while ago.
Oh, snap.
There's a lot of nice people here, but every once in a while you run into somebody who's not. So, But just before we read this, so we can get this out of the way quick, the federal case number 2, there is nothing posted except for a response in opposition to the motion to dismiss that was filed on 6/18. I believe I read that on my Thursday stream. I did not title it What the Hales because it was supposed to be a members only, and YouTube kind of did its thing and screwed that up. And then the second amended complaint, which I am not going to read because the second amended complaint is just the complaint with it's just the complaint with bone break added instead of bone crusher, and the summons was issued to Raymond G. Bonebreak. So
all they did was basically take his username and change it to his birth name. That's all they did. We watched Coonette started by had to jump for great.
I just want to let you guys know before, just in case anybody asks what's up with the second case, there is nothing. There was a summons issued yesterday, and there's been no updates since last week on any documents. Things that happen drama-wise with people going back and forth from side to side, not my monkey, not my circus. It takes away from the actual meat and heart of the case. So I refuse to.
Especially if you're part-timer.
Yeah, and I'm kind of getting like, and there was in the new case, or in the first case, I not only had this order from the judge, but I just checked because within the last 30 minutes, a new response in opposition to motion 117 to dismiss and for sanctions was filed by Jeremy B. Hales. We are going to read that. We will get through this
quick.
Yeah, because the Georgia's order is only 4 pages, and the other one's only 3 pages. But they mention other documents, so I'm going to keep the documents as well.
Just before you go through that, the countersuits, like the thumbnail suit and the trespass lawsuit, the countersuits. Has there been any updates on those?
Not that I know of, but I don't follow the state suits. I just follow the federal ones.
Federal ones, yeah.
It is not a new chair. This was actually purchased with the help of my YouTube audience from the Amazon list. So I've had this for a while. It's just usually I'm covered up. So there is that. I just have to go back to document because I don't think I saved it on my computer.
It looks like It looks like a stingray.
What, the chair?
If you sit right in the center of it, it looks like you're literally like laying on a stingray.
It's comfy because I can actually recline in this. So I can, when I want to watch YouTube, if I get a moment to myself to actually watch YouTube, and I want to watch on my computer, it's also got a footrest. So I can shift around a little bit. And my old chair, Mr. Squid took. And then his old chair is right here for the little. Remember when I said he went like really, really just basic bitch on his setup? Chair with no arms. Like he went basic because it doesn't matter to him. But I sit here for hours, so it matters to me.
Sorry for the cough. Okay.
And sometimes you gotta cough, and that is just the way life works. All right. Document 159. Let's get into this because we have a rabbit hole to jump down to in an hour.
I'm scared.
And, I'm not exactly sure where that stream is going to go, but off the rails is.
Yeah, off the rails for sure. That's why I'm bringing a parachute with me.
All right. This was posted yesterday. This is an order. In the answers, defendants asserted 3 counterclaims against plaintiff, documents 69, 70 at 11 through 13. Defendants later moved to voluntarily dismiss 2 of the counterclaims, 2 and 3, and that's document 111. Plaintiff did not oppose dismissal of those 2 counterclaims. Thus, the court granted the unopposed motion and dismissed counts 2 and 3 of defendants' counterclaims, document 121. Defendants have subsequently moved to voluntarily dismiss the remaining counterclaim, which is count 1. Documents 150 and 151 because they filed them separately, even though whatever. Well, I understand why they did them separately because now they're pro se. It's just weird to see them filed as one document and then filed. It's just an odd thing to see.
Even though they're getting help, even though they got other people in the background writing all this stuff for them, which we know they're doing that. It's just I'm surprised the court hasn't actually put a stop to this.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, like my thumbnail said, has the judge finally, like, has the judge finally, like, what's his mindset? And that's kind of where, because his writing is a little bit different in this.
Mm.
And it's not as matter of fact, but it's matter of fact. But it's not as, like, if you've read all his other stuff, he's had some snark in it. He's had some, like, this just sounds like he's tired. And he just trying to get the information out as quickly as possible. Yeah, they're trying to delay the courts again. Well, I can understand in the sense of why that they would want to dismiss all the counterclaims, because they don't have the money to defend them. Like,
yeah, but
that'd be the reason that I'd use. But
the thing is, one thing I've noticed is when you've got Lynette Preston and John Cook representing themselves, but the thing is, they're putting in these motions that have definitely not been written by either of them. Just like Lisa Lee, when she put her motion in, you know for a fact that that motion wasn't written by her. That was copy and paste and also help from someone else. Because obviously someone... Go on.
Yeah, I think that was a combination of three things. Copy and paste, someone helping her, and a little bit of Chat GPT or an AI program trying to make it sound lawyerish.
Now, here's my... on
the lawyers in this case don't sound like lawyers. I'm just going to say.
On the end of this, excuse me, I've got something in my throat for some reason. On the end of this, this is where I think that side need to pay quite close attention, because whatever emotions you put in, you need to be able to stand in court and repeat everything you put in as a motion, because what you're doing, you're putting in evidence, you're putting in statements. So therefore, if you got someone else writing that stuff for you, and then you're going to stand in court representing yourself, you need to know exactly what's been said and how it's been put in there. So I'm just thinking that way, sort of angle.
Happy birthday, Lynn. It's my birthday, and I get to spend it with lots of my favorite YouTubers. Thanks, Squid, for updating us. No problem.
Can I do the happy birthday song? Right, okay. Hold on, Lynn. Hold on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mr. Excuse me, Lynn. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Happy birthday. Sorry.
All right. Although the issue, defendants have subsequently moved to voluntarily dismiss the remaining counterclaim, which is count 1. Plaintiff has responded in opposition to that motion, document 158. Although the issue has not been raised by the parties, and here's where it gets interesting to me. The court's research has revealed an 11th Circuit decision that the court believes requires it to sua sponte reconsider its prior order. Document 121. Granting defendants' motion to voluntarily dismiss counts 2 and 3 of their counterclaims under Rule 41A2. See Eurobor v. Grafova, 11th Circuit, 2024. I wonder when in 2024 that was, if it was after that ruling or before. In Eurobor VV, the court stated that the party could not move under Rule 41A2 to voluntarily dismiss fewer than all of the claims or counterclaims that the party had brought against an opposing party. Instead, the court explained that a party may only use Rule 41A2 to voluntarily dismiss all claims or all counterclaims. You can't cherry pick.
That makes
against
sense.
the opposing party. Say Rule 41 one more time.
41. 41.
Like it. Yeah, it's just.
No, that does make sense. That makes sense. You can't nitty pick. It's either all or none.
Yeah, and I don't know if I had said it when I read it, but it just seemed odd to me that like you could cherry pick. Like I wasn't a lawyer, so I don't know if I made a comment on it, because obviously I don't like to make statements about the law when I don't know. Usually I frame it as a question because I literally I try not to paint anything about the law as fact unless I'm reading it from a book, a website. Cornell's law school website is really good, or in order, because I don't claim to be anything I'm not, and these are just questions. This is why I like reading them out loud with you guys, is because I literally have these questions, and the questions just pop out of my brain sometimes without even sometimes I forget that y'all are there, and when I'm reading it, I just say out loud what I'm thinking. And I kind of had that, can they just cherry pick, or would they have to dismiss them all without prejudice and then refile one? And you know what I mean? You have to dismiss them all and then refile whatever you want to file. It's, I don't know.
Well, they'd be throwing motions in like if it was a new hobby, but
I know this is document 159 and the other one's document 160. So it's like, Jesus, we haven't even finished discovery yet. And that's the other thing. People have asked about discovery. Isn't discovery closed? Technically, it was supposed to be closed, technically speaking. But every time the judge says you have till this date, he's literally pushing back his timeline. If he wanted to be strict, he could be like, you didn't turn in discovery when I told you to the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time. Now, files a summary judgment.
Or this is just speculation, or he's given them every single reason to dig that hole deeper and deeper and deeper. Because at the end of the day, if you're switched on, right, if you get told, right, you need to show us everything, you need to send us everything, and they don't do it, he's basically giving them every opportunity to do it. But at the same time, what he's doing, he's giving them every single opportunity for the plaintiff to then take that hammer and nail and start nailing those hammers, those virtual nails into that virtual coffin. So what they're doing, they're literally just digging that hole deeper and deeper to a point where they're not going to get out. They've had every opportunity to bring, what you call it? I forgot the word now.
And dangerous waves. I know this, that they can't refile the ones that were in state court that she dropped and then added to Fed 1. I understand. I'm just looking at it from the screw what was in state court. This is looking solely at these. When that was brought up in my brain, I thought, even without looking at 41A2 or this motion, this 11th Circuit decision from 2024, all or nothing. And I know the two dismissal rule and that, but this is completely out of this is completely taking all state stuff out of this picture. That stuff no longer exists right now. That is purely looking at the decision that you can't, and why the judge let them cherry pick what they wanted to dismiss, to me, was confusing. So it's the two dismissal rule screws them. Dismiss it and they can't file it again. None of the ecosystem can file it either. Yeah. And I understand that. I just was I was just solely looking at this paragraph and that 11th Circuit decision and going back to what I had read in document 121. Why did he file that and yeah, Stacy, if you can find that decision, just when it was, just the date compared to when 121, his document 121 was March 28th of 2025. So I just want to know when the timing of that, because he obviously did research during the stay. And
maybe the judge is, this is just me speculating. Maybe the judge, what he's doing, he's compiling everything, because discovery hasn't really happened, if we're going to be honest about it properly. So he's probably go, right, here's enough rope for both sides to hang yourselves with. And here's enough shovels to dig that hole deeper than you already deepened. I'm going to compile everything, get everything together. And then basically when it comes to the court case, bang. Because it's I mean, like, he must be sitting there pulling his hair out, whatever hair's left on his head, right? And he there's no way he is ignoring anything that's been going on. You know, like Bruce not being sanctioned yet. He is going to get sanctioned, but he hasn't been sanctioned yet. Stuff like that. There's things that people are confused about. Well, hang on a minute. Why did Randy get sanctioned? Then all these motions are going in. You know,
I've repeated it 90 million times. Monetary sanctions are easy. Like, monetary sanctions, write a check and we're good. The complicating factor with Bruce's sanctions is Bruce has that motion to vacate the judge, for one. Therefore, it goes to the judge or the district judge above Judge Bolitho. Because of that, and complicating the fact that he's a defendant in another case with the same plaintiffs and the same judge, it's completely Bruce did a very good job at muddling the circumstances. Whereas Randy just filed what the judge saw as frivolous motions, $2,000 per motion, $4,000. There's your sanctions. Have a nice day. I'll see you next time. Like, you know, writing a check is like getting a speeding ticket. I know you've never got one. Ha ha ha. Me.
The sanction went to the district judge. So this judge.
Yeah, I believe the sanctions are above Judge Bolitho, and I believe that. And I'm not exactly understanding why, but if I had to take a guess, it would be because of how muddled the situation is. Judge Bolitho is like, he's got a motion to vacate me. He's got a motion to vacate me. He's a defendant and a different judge. If I do the sanctions, it could be seen as biased, and he could Bruce could file a motion to vacate in the other one saying he sanctioned. It's just Bruce did a very, very damn good job at confusing and making a mess out of everything. What should be a one party versus one party, like one plaintiff, two defendants, has turned into a shit show because of Bruce. And that is the one thing that I can say from what I've seen that Bruce is very good at. Muddling the hell out of everything.
Yeah, but he's not going to be walking away from this.
And I get that. It's just that's my mindset of, like, Bruce did a very good job at throwing everything into a pot and calling it dinner. It's like, no, that's shit on a shingle. Like,
I mean, I've been saying it for months that, you know, the deflection and the subterfuge, what they've been causing, has taken a lot of people away from the actual reason for this. You know, and
I haven't done my research on why the judge above it is possibly taking it. I just heard that, and I've heard multiple people say it. To the point where, like, when you hear multiple different sides of things say it, you're more likely to believe it. It's like when you see one article and you see the same headline in like 6 different papers on like both sides of the aisle, you're like, okay, I'm more likely to believe that this actually happened. It's just, I believe that 30-day stay was part of the judge going, this is out of my, like, this is messy. And yeah.
And Tammy Belgrad had a good question. I'm not understanding how he can get away with the filing anything since he's not allowed to practice in Florida. From what I understand is that he is still representing them until they have legal representation, or they decide to represent themselves. From what I understand.
And no, so Tammy, there's a thing here. Remember how? Okay, let's say take Leslie. She's not a practicing lawyer, but she can still file lawsuits because she is the plaintiff and she is pro se. Bruce is not technically filing anything. Bruce is not technically filing anything. I just use him as an example because he was filing things when these counterclaims got filed. He was their lawyer. Technically speaking, even though Bruce isn't barred in Florida, he can represent himself in the second case. You don't have to have a bar license in a state to be a pro se defendant, even if you're a lawyer. Like, if Bruce gets sued in California, hypothetical situation. He can go out to California and be a pro se defendant. He doesn't need a bar license to represent himself. He needs a bar license if he were to go and represent, say, hypothetical, because this shit would never happen. If I asked him to be my lawyer in a case in Georgia, he would have to get either a pro hoc vice status or a bar license here to represent me. However, if he got sued in Georgia, he can be here and represent himself, because anybody, you can't stop anybody from being pro se. And that is where people were confusing, like the Leslie thing. Well, how can she file lawsuits and go to court? She's pro se. That's how. Anybody can be pro se. Just because you have a law degree doesn't mean you can't represent yourself. Like it's that loophole of you don't have to be a lawyer to represent yourself. Therefore, even though you have a law degree, you can still be pro se. You can't stop anybody from being pro se.
I got my opinion about her what you call it, her legal lawsuit that she's put in. I'm not even gonna comment.
And we're not going to get into her. I was just using her as an example because I had a few people asking me questions about how can she file a lawsuit? She's not a lawyer anymore. Well, you don't need to be a lawyer to represent yourself. You need to be a lawyer to represent
someone else.
And that's why in the lawsuit that I read that she and one of her children are suing, her husband is representing the child because she can legally not represent the child because she is legally not a lawyer anymore. However, no one stops you from filing. I mean, Sarah Boone was damn pro se. Lori Vallow was pro se. Like, no one can stop anybody in this country from representing themselves. There's the kicker. Just because you have a law degree doesn't mean you can't be pro se. There's the, like, I think people were getting that, like, weren't stopping to actually process that because the brain and the situation was moving too fast to, like, yes, only a fool has themselves for an attorney. Yes. And no, don't even hypothetical that. Yeah. And see, I only bring her up because of the comparison. Like, technically speaking, Bruce could file motions in that first case. If he decided to fire his lawyer and represent himself, he could file as many motions as he wanted. So it's like one of those, it's that thing. Yeah, I have a law degree, hypothetically, because I don't. I'm not claiming to. I can't represent. I have a law degree, but I haven't passed the bar. I can represent myself, maybe. But I can't represent baby squid because I don't have the legal documentation to represent anybody else. It's like me in occupational therapy. Someone can ask me a question about occupational therapy in Georgia, and I can say, here's my advice. Go talk to your therapist. I am not a therapist. I'm not your therapist. I am just a therapist. I don't have I have my national certification still. I still have my C, my certified, but I do not have a Georgia license thanks to COVID. And yeah, Georgia hasn't approved my occupational therapy assistant license in 5 years. Like it has like 16 parts and like 13 of them are approved. 3 of them or 4 of them are still pending. I could care less. I've sent emails back in the day when I was actually thinking about going back to work in occupational therapy, and no one got back to me from the Secretary of State's office. So it's like, yeah, it's just one of those situations of a loophole. It's just one of those loopholes that people can climb through. So, all right, let's get to this footnote. And this is where I think the judge's mentality is kind of changing, in the sense he's not taking anybody's shit anymore. He's not even giving anybody enough rope to hang themselves with. Although the court likely could combine the 2 motions and continue them together as a single motion to dismiss all the counterclaims, out of an abundance of caution and to ensure the docket is clear, the court believes it's best to have defendants refile a single motion to dismiss all the counterclaims. And that right there is where I think it'll be interesting, because with them being pro se defendants, oh, thank you. With them being pro se defendants, I have a feeling he's going to look at this this motion and be like, yeah, I know y'all are getting help from somewhere, and who didn't actually write, or who actually wrote it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, not that there's not templates and stuff that you can get. However, I think he's going to do a little compare and contrast on what their motion to dismiss looks like compared to the motion to dismiss that was written by, I don't know, someone with a bubble for a brain. All right. Plaintiff will then be afforded an opportunity to respond to such motion and voluntarily dismiss all of the counterclaims. Accordingly, it's ordered that the prior order, document 121, granting the defendant's unopposed motion to dismiss counts 2 and 3 of their counterclaims is vacated. The defendant's motion to dismiss counts 2 and 3 of their counterclaims is denied without prejudice.
Oh, snap.
Defendant's motion to dismiss count 1 of their counterclaims are denied without prejudice. If defendants desire their voluntary dismissal of counts 1, 2, and 3 of their counterclaims, they shall file within 14 days of this order. I have to look at my calendar. Order a motion to voluntarily dismiss all of counterclaims. Footnote 2. The court previously ordered defendants to respond to plaintiff's motion to dismiss count 1 of the counterclaims, documents 109 and 110, by June 26th of 2025. It appears that defendants intended their motion to voluntarily dismiss count 1 to be their response to plaintiff's motion, but to the extent defendants wish to offer a substantive response.
Substantive.
Yeah. To the plaintiff's, or to the arguments raised in plaintiff's motion, they will have 14 days from today's date to do so.
Yeah, so he's basically giving them enough rope to hang themselves with.
24th. Okay.
That's from where I see it. For the way that's for me. If I read that, it's like, right, you either sort this out or we're moving on. But here's some rope. I'm going to give you a little bit more rope.
And Debbie Baker, Squid, I work for the Boeing company in Everett, Washington, the biggest building in the world. I hope you're doing well. I sent Baby Squid over to Cash App. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I did get that. Thank you, Debbie Baker, for the $10 Cash App for your love, or $10. Love your passion. Yeah, Monday was definitely a passion enthralling.
It was for me because I went diving on Monday and I froze my Sorry, I'll shut up.
I got something for that, but it's not YouTube appropriate. Plaintiff will have 14 days from the filing of defendant's motion to respond, and that was yesterday. So
I don't think this is going to go in favor of defendants, because like I mean, so far every single motion that's gone in, yes, some have been denied towards the plaintiff, but this is I think we're how can I put this? I think the judge, right, is going to be showing us a couple of things that we all didn't expect. So expect the unexpected from this judge.
And Stacy, if you put it in the chat, I think that was a YouTube thing, not a mod thing. So I'm looking at the live chat right now in both Streamlabs and YouTube Studio. And if anything was removed or not posted that you think you posted, that was a YouTube-y thing. That was not a my mods or my chat or me. Sometimes YouTube is asshole and doesn't allow people to post things that you would think don't make any, like, don't seem to have an issue, and all of a sudden it's like, all of a sudden it's not posted, and it's like, how did that happen? And Debbie, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you.
Yeah, nothing's been done by a mod. That must have been a YouTube community evaluation?
I am on X or Twitter, whatever it's called. But you can also email it to me I'll just put in my email in the chat. Woo! Apparently I can't make it.
Debbie Baker, thanks for the 5 squid gift memberships for the individuals. Congratulations to Karen Brooks, Vernie Q, Ellen, Robert Ward, and Frankie Fuzzface.
And sometimes it will. Well, you can't post it if it's a link. Well, if it is, it won't. It just won't come up as a hyperlink, and you can still post it. And I just have to copy and paste it. But sometimes YouTube gets a little. Yeah. I don't even have my chat set to like where things need to be released. Sometimes people have their chat set where they need to like their mods need to approve certain comments. I don't even have that because if y'all post stuff and it doesn't come up or it comes up and I find it, I will yeet it myself.
Hey, so. Copyright.
Huh?
That's my word. Oh.
No, that's how you end your stream. Yeet?
No, but I also yeet people if I need to yeet people. The parkour. Yeet.
Yeah. No, LRG, thank you for letting me know 14 days from today. My calendar is right over here, but I wrote it down so that I could look at it, but I never like doing the math in my head for 2 weeks without looking at the calendar right now is like
it'll be the 9th.
2 weeks from yesterday, so it'd be the 8th.
Yeah, it'll be the 9th.
For you.
Oh.
All right, let's see. Where's my 625? I have Jeremy's response.
Already?
Response in opposition to, and hold on, let me open it first. It'd be helpful.
159 documents. Holy shit.
160.
Okay, I'll take that back.
This is 160. This was filed today. Between the time I got home, from running errands, about 12:45-ish, and when I just checked, after I gave you guys the update on Federal 2, I ran Federal 1 again, and it didn't. So this was filed today. It's only 3 pages. Response in opposition to motion to dismiss under FRCP 41B, document 117. And I'm going to see if I have document 117 on my computer somewhere. So, excuse me while I look. I have to scroll down all these documents because I have all of them. I just have to look at the actual. I haven't changed my filing system for a lot of documents yet. And I have document 117 pulled up. That was the document filed by Bubbles, motion to dismiss and for sanctions. That was the one 3/27/25, right before the April 1st hearing, or April 2nd, whatever that hearing was, April 3rd. Yeah, supposedly. We'll see. We'll see what actually happens.
Oh snap! It is as well.
I have no.
I thought it was today.
I got nothing.
That's why I'm a bit confused because I thought discovery was today. It's not. It's tomorrow.
And Malin, do you know the dates in both federal cases when to look out for? July 8th is when a response is due from the judge's order from yesterday. That's the last day. But July 8th is Dr. Joe's mediation, and July 9th is Hannah Dugan's scheduling conference in Milwaukee. She's the judge that went rogue. So she's the rogue judge in Wisconsin.
What is wrong with your legal system over there?
There's a lot of judges that were appointed by people who don't believe in law and order, and also shit just takes forever. Shit just have forever. It appears like Kirk and Lynette have a Mackenzie friend layperson working for them, but without regulation or guidance like we have in England. I believe that certain lawyers or people who aren't lawyers anymore. I believe everybody is kind of contributing without being licensed in a way. So, yeah, tomorrow is also the deadline for LP to get a lawyer. And I have all this written down in my iPad calendar. I go back and forth between the iPad calendar and the handwritten one because sometimes handwritten is the way to go. So let's get into the, in other words, the Good Old Boys Club. I don't think it's the Good Old Boys Club. I think it's in my opinion, from what I have seen, and I haven't kept up on the latest drama because it's not worth it's kind of like it's a merry band of misfits that have all come on. You think without this case that certain people on that side would actually associate with each other? Probably not, because they seem to find themselves in different tax brackets, different mentalities about the way the world works. I don't see those people being friends if they didn't have a mutual enemy. So it's the merry band of misfits.
Well, 3 people got the clout they wanted. They got their name out there, that's for sure. And that's the crampons and freaking the Manskinian Muppet.
All right, let's read this. Plaintiff Jeremy B. Hales opposes the motion to dismiss under FRCP 41B and requests that the motion be denied because of the stringent requirements for dismissal under the 11th Circuit's precedent have not been met. FRCP 41B expressly authorizes the involuntary dismissal of a claim for failure to abide by court's orders or the federal rules of civil procedure. FRCP 41B, State Exchange Bank v. Heartline, 11th Circuit, 1982. Ooh, that's before me. However, beyond the federal rule, the power of a court to dismiss a claim is inherent in a trial court's authority to enforce its orders and ensure prompt disposition of legal actions. See Link v. Wabash Railroad Company, 1962. Boy, way before my time. Dismissal under FRCP 41B is considered a drastic sanction and is only appropriate in extreme circumstances where there is a clear record of delay. Reading is important. Words are important. Or willful contempt. Here, it is not improper to confer with opposing counsel prior to drafting a motion under FRCP 11. The rule itself does not explicitly require a meet and confer process, but it does include a safe harbor provision that effectively encourages communication between parties before filing a motion for sanctions. Conferring with opposing counsel gives the opposing party an opportunity to address the alleged violation without court intervention, which aligns with the purpose of fostering resolution and reducing unnecessary litigation. Oh, it's interesting how the person that's being accused of filing unnecessary litigation mentions unnecessary litigation in his thing. It's like that's all people throw at him, and it's funny that Randy mentions it in a filing. Conferring inherently supports the idea of engaging in discussions with opposing counsel to address potential issues before escalating to formal motions. Well, when you have someone shitty at communications, communication is everything. Because a lot of the times miscommunications cause big problems between people. yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Yeah, and helps avoid unnecessary sanctions motions and promotes judicial efficiency. Just dismiss CP 41B is considered a drastic remedy that should be used sparingly. McGowan v. Faulkner Concrete Pipe Company, 5th Circuit, 1981. Ooh, Randy's going in the Wayback Machine for these. And Quattlebaum v. McDonald, Northern District of New York, February 6th of 2002, or 2012. Sorry, reading's hard. Conclusion, the motion lacks merit and should be denied. So there's that. But this is the document that
I like that document. I like it a lot.
Yeah, this is minus my inability to actually read today.
Sorry, I've got something.
This document is very well written, easy to read, straight to the point. Straight to the point.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he's made a very, very good point. Oh, where's that gone? He's made a very, very good point in the paragraph. Oh, you keep moving it. I don't know. Basically, he says the rule itself does not explicitly require a meet and confer process, but it does include a safe harbor provision that effectively encourages communication between parties before filing a motion for sanctions. Conferring with the opposition counsel gives the opposing party an opportunity to address the allegations of violation without court interference. We've aligned with the purpose of fostering resolutions and reducing unnecessary litigation. And that's exactly what Bruce would try to fucking avoid. He tried to avoid to sit down with Randy and everyone else in a civil way and try to resolve some of the things. However, when you got someone saying, "Oh yeah, I'm not doing any deals," obviously Bruce wanted to make a point, and Randy's put this here. It's like someone's literally punched you square in the jaw, and your jaw's now going around your head like the moon orbiting Earth. This is going to be a good response. This is a good response, in my opinion. Yeah,
Chucky, was there a filing mentioned when this was in which this is a response to? Yep, it is right here. This is document 117, which is Bruce's. This one. I have to move it to I have like 8 documents open right now, and a couple websites because we have 30 minutes. So this is probably only going to go about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to redirect to the other stream. I'm going to take a quick break so I can do mama duties, and also take a pee break.
Actual fact, scroll down a minute. I just clocked, sorry. Just scroll down very slowly, though. Stop. That was written by AI. If you look at counter effect and also name calling, if you have a look at those two, right, that is the typical ChatGPT AI type of fucking thing. Just saying, just putting it out there, just saying. But got my hands up here.
If we recall the in-person hearing that Bruce was supposed to go to, I believe was April 3rd. I said April 1st at first, and it was like, no, it's April 3rd. This was written the 27th of March. So, no, this has nothing to do with the response from the judge yesterday. This is, the judge did mention in his order, let's go back to his order. Gotta figure out which freaking document I'm in.
40 days to motion to respond, 24.
PDFs all look the same when you open them up nice and wide. So he did mention, I want to say he did mention 117 somewhere. 147. I'm just looking at the documents that the judge mentioned in his motion, because that has nothing to do with anything the judge said. Yep. Documents 150, 151, 121, 111. Nope. Document
No,
121, 115,
121,
121, 119, 69
One-
and 70, 111. Nope. 158. This is all, none of 117 wasn't mentioned in any of the
No.
judge responded to 117 yesterday. Let me look at the docket real quick. Docket.
Bless these cotton socks. At least Deuce Boy is, he's trying. He's failing, but trying. Bless him.
I'm just looking. Here's the docket. And this is why I even though this case is sometimes driving me nuts with so many extra, the case itself isn't driving me nuts. All the extra crap is driving me nuts. So that's why I stopped doing so many streams, is because it was all driving me nuts. After the 30-day stay, which became 40 days, if I were the judge, I would have handled that differently. I would have, at the start of that 30 days, I would have initially said, hey, at the end of 30 days, we're going to schedule a conference. What he did it differently than I would have. Excuse me. What would you like, ma'am? You want a banana?
No, bananas.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to get it? She ran in here, tried to pull my hand away. When I asked her what she wants, she ran away. So
here's the thing. I mean, everyone, look, I'm going to be devil's advocate now. I mean, listening and watching and seeing how everything's gone and all the documents and everything else, I think we need to stand by and mark time when it comes to this judge, because I don't think he is. I think we should stand by and watch, because I think this shit's about to hit the fan, to be perfectly honest with you. Pardon my French. His responses and his down, no, denied, or yes, it's granted. I'm just going to wait.
And it is confusing to keep track of all of the different documents in all the different cases. And that's why I have them all. And that's why sometimes I need to bring them up. When I was reading Jeremy's response, I had document 120 or 117 pulled up because I'm like, what the hell is what motion in opposition to that? What was that document? I know the title of it, but what did it actually say? So I'm curious.
But the fact that this case has got 160 documents, 160. I mean, are they trying to get up to the what do you call it? The hurt versus debt type of case, or what are they trying to do?
I make Jeremy spend as much money as possible.
I mean, that's for sure. I mean, we've come to that conclusion a long time ago that they are milking him, and
I'm just trying to see where motion orders from the judge mentioned document 117, and I'm just wondering if this was part of before the stay and Jeremy didn't file it because of the stay.
Motion to dismiss under 117 under FRCP there. Just above.
That's the one that I had just pulled up.
Oh, is that the one? Oh, right. Okay.
That was the one I had just pulled up where Bruce wants sanctions against Randy. The one that was 7 days before the hearing that he never showed up at.
Well, they both got sanctioned.
There was never a response before that. Yeah. So I'm thinking that this was the response that, no, the judge hasn't responded to this, but I'm thinking that this was one of the motions that Randy had ready to go, and then the judge stayed. So he couldn't file it, and then it got lost.
Yeah, but Scott, here's the thing. If the judge hasn't answered that one yet, is it because there's a possibility because he sent it up to the district judge that it's then...
Well, he hasn't responded to this yet. I don't... That one I can't answer. But this is the first time that Jeremy has responded to that motion. Where it says response in opposition to 117. This is the first time that 117 was before the 1 week before the missed hearing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this right here, that's the point I'm trying to make. But I'm looking back just to make sure that what I'm thinking in my head is actually correct. That this was what Randy had before that he wanted to file, and the judge said, do not file anything. And then Randy forgot to file it, but just got other things became a bit more important.
Yeah, that's right.
And this became so I'm wondering if the judge will even look at this in the sense of if he says, because it's more than 2 weeks after the stay ended. So I'm wondering if the judge has anything to say about the fact that the stay is over and you're filing it late, or if I'm just wondering what the judge will say about that. I don't know the rules on that. I don't know what the judge had said about that on the hearing, because remember they had that phone conference. So maybe it was mentioned on the phone conference, and we just don't have access to that. And I'm just curious. Like these are things that go through my head, and I just talk out loud.
Okay, so here's an idea that's just popped into my head. The thing is that the fact that the judge went, right, no more motions or no more dockets or whatever, this is probably just to be filed, so it goes into the actual route of the document. So basically, there's not a missing gap in the actual document. So he's now responded to 117. So when they go through the documents, they go, all right, 117, right, there was a response. That response happened at 160, and then they can carry on as normal. So there's no missing responses, or there's no gap in the trail of information.
Okay, I found it. I up here, 147, amended final scheduling order. It said, plaintiff has 14 days from the date of this order to respond to the defendant's motion to dismiss under 41B, document 117. So 14 days from 6/12. So he's 1 day early. Okay, so he is within the time. That's what I was looking for earlier, but I couldn't find it. My scanning ability wasn't, but it's right here.
Oh, right, okay.
So it starts right here. Plaintiff has 14 days from the date of this order to respond to defendant's motion to dismiss under FRCP 41B, document 117. So, so that's the deadline would be tomorrow. So yeah, I don't think this hurts Jeremy in any way. I think this is the judge cleaning up and being like, cut the bullshit. I could combine the two orders. However, I'm not going to. You have to refile it.
What's that bit where it says discovery? I can't read it.
Hold on.
Wasn't that June 17th? Didn't they get an extra?
Yeah, there was, and this is why looking at the docket is so damn important. Because the deadline for filing motions to compel discovery is June 17th. The deadline for the completion of all discovery is June 17th, which came and went without, dispositive motions, including motions for summary judgment and Daubert later than July 8th. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not telling Randy that I know what to do or I think, but at this point, with them not listening and not following timelines for compelling discovery, I would file a motion for summary judgment. That's just me.
Yeah.
If they don't comply with this crap.
But how many times has that been mentioned now since the 12th of June? Right? How many times has discovery been mentioned in any of the documents up till today?
I'm going to look. Order
From
152. Hold on.
Yep.
Motion to compel. Defendants must respond to plaintiff's motion to compel, document 152, on or before June 26th, which is tomorrow. Internal deadline for referral to judge if response not filed earlier than 6/26. Trying to find anything about orders, because the orders are generally written in here, so you don't have to open them up all the time.
Yeah.
That's the last time he mentions it. So tomorrow should be an interesting day.
Well, I bet my left kidney they won't. Oh, my queen's here. 1 second.
The judge is cleaning up, probably in anticipation of either a new attorney or pro se litigants, or take this one as a grain of, take my opinion with a grain of salt, because, or he's just like, I'm sick of this bullshit. I'm going to try to clean it up. And if y'all don't want to listen, I'm going to be gone with you. be gone with you kind of situation.
Yeah.
But that,
Stacey, that's a good
That's 357 people watching and only 150 likes. And I know 10 of those 360 now. I know 10 of those people are probably my hate watchers.
No, they're your fans. No, they are your fans.
Well, yes, it's proven. The haters are the biggest fans, because here's why. Here's my thought process on this. Your haters are always your biggest fans because they watch everything you do and spend the most mental energy thinking about you. Whereas people that like you watch you, and then when they turn you off, they go about their business. But people that hate you give you the most watch hours because they watch everything you do, waiting for you to say something that they can use against you, which, whatever. Ask me how much I care. You've seen what happens when people try to piss me off or try to hurt me or try to do this. I just go, I don't know you. Bye-bye. March on your way, which pisses them off even more, which is funny. But here's the thing. When people that hate you spend the most mental energy thinking about you. So your haters are your biggest fans, because nobody in life spends as much mental energy thinking about every little thing that you do, giving you the most watch hours, which means giving you the most ad revenue. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, and we just lost 20 viewers. There went my haters. All right. Was lurking, hit the like button before I came in. Oh, hi, Lindy. How are you? Yeah, and then they keep talking about you for days after.
Hi, Jeffrey. How you doing, old chap?
Oops, I went to hit the like. Still here. The discussion is interesting. I will view the start later. Just as my eyes dilated for an exam, so I have some time. Oy, yoy, yoy, yoy.
So does that mean you can look through walls now?
I hate when I have that. I'm already light sensitive, which is why sometimes my lighting sucks, is because looking at computer screens and having lighting, I'm like migraine inducing. LP does not know where the truck GPS is. I mean, that's when you go to the dealership and you're like, I need this information. How do I get this information? I understand that she might not know how to get things, but that's why you call companies. You call your cell phone provider and you say, I need the records for this by court order. So, all right. That's all I got for you guys on this one. We are going to direct over to a stream that that has nothing to do with anything. What the Hales? It is completely Spawn and I. For those of you who don't watch my other streams, we have every Wednesday at 3:00. We do an aviation stream. This time we are following the money on where the FAA's budget has gone. And it's our first time of digging into where the money has gone. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of rabbit holes. So we are going to kind of keep it straight and narrow, and we're going to limit it to about an hour and a half tops. Because this chick's got to cook dinner in 97-degree heat. It's interesting to talk about things that I'm interested in that have to do with everybody's daily life. Aviation safety has, whether you fly or not, has to do with you, because everybody knows somebody who flies on a regular basis. It's
Chile.
one of those situations where everybody knows somebody. It's interesting to know why things happen the way they do, where the money is gone, because our government is corrupt AF, and why it's taken 55 years to redo anything.
I mean, 50. I mean, if you count, like, someone sent help. I'm against my will. But like when you, if you, no, don't hurt me, please. No, when you look at it from, I mean, obviously we're going to go into it in depth in the next stream, but if you imagine, okay, you've got a shop or you've got a garage, and you start that garage like with like say $1 million, and then you have to and then 10 years later you're at the garage, and the garage is still exactly the same when you first bought it and set it up. You haven't updated any of the electronics or the equipment or the tools or anything else. The first question you should be asking is, where's the money gone to update this?
Yep. But we will talk about that on the other
Yeah.
stream. I have this stream set up to redirect over there if y'all want to hang out with us.
Yep.
There will be no drama talk.
Nope.
That is, well, it'll be drama, but it'll be like government corruption drama.
Yep.
And where is our tax money going?
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure some of this same shit is happening in the UK. Because y'all's systems are older than ours. Surprisingly enough.
Why don't you just rub it in? Why don't you just pour salt in it while you're at it?
We had this conversation this morning.
Well, you had that conversation. No, hang on a minute. You had that conversation. I had the freaking crazy. Yeah, like do you know when Squid says, "Oh, like sometimes I actually have to tell her to shut up so I can get word inside." Whereas, well, today the only freaking sentence I got there was, "Hey, Squid, you've totally got off the rails. We're talking something completely different. Let's get back on the topic. Well, can we?" And she went, "Yeah, okay." Like if it was a normal daily routine. God dang it. I don't get paid enough for this. Send help.
Hey, Lucy. All right, I'm going to redirect over there. We have 10 minutes. I am going to go do some mama stuff because I hear my toddler going, "Send help."
I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're on about.
He did. She learned from you, which is sometimes not a good thing.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me when baby squid listens to Uncle Spawn.
On that note, I will see you guys in a few minutes. I'm going to do some mama stuff. I'm also going to take a, head to the head and do some, get a refill on the water and turn the air conditioning down by a degree because I'm starting to get warm.
Like, do you want me to kneel down so you can kick me in the head instead of you using a ladder?
I'll just tell Mrs. Spawn to get her frying pan.
No, she's in the kitchen. She can hear it.
All right. I will talk to you guys in a few minutes. Have a great day. Bye.